Fellas, Blue Archive JP's 5th anniversary Go-Go Sensei is nearly upon us, with the celebratory event taking place on 17 to 18 January 2026. And while there'll be tons of exciting game news and updates that will be released on the 2 days, there's always one extremely important announcement that us senseis are looking forward to. Who are the new fest units? So, in today's video, I'm here to fill some of you guys' copium tanks, as I like to briefly discuss my prediction on which students I think will be the 5th anniversary fest units and my reasons for choosing them. And do let me know what your thoughts are on my predictions, as well as your own predictions. Anyways, without further adu, let's get into it. Jumping straight into my main and number 1 prediction of Blue Archive JP's 5th anniversary units, it is none other than Pampakapan, Mecha Aris, and Hoverbike Himari. Oh, by the way, just to clarify, by fest units, I mean the actual fest units, i.e. the 2 banners that come after the free 100 pulls, like your Dressina, Mika, Simpson Mika, Amtoshino, etc. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, boo, boring pick, ooh, blah blah blah. And yes, I'm not alone in predicting this, as a lot of senseis are already expecting them to be the next anniversary units. But listen, our prediction could still be wrong, like I actually had these two for my 4.5 Fest students predictions, but turns out I was off and it was a Swimsuit Tea Party instead, so you'll never know. The devs could throw us a curveball once again because they are doing whatever the hell they want. Anyways, back to the topic on hand. The primary reason why I and many other senseis feel that Aris and Himari will get their new ults as part of the 5th anniversary is due to their heavy involvement in one of the current ongoing main story arcs, Volume EX, the Kagamaton. In JP, if I'm not mistaken, the last update to Volume EX was all the way back in May before the 4.5 anniversary, with Chapter 2, The Sword of Flames Part 3, releasing and ending at the time. Though this volume was shelved for a bit since the main story focus shifted towards Volume 6, Oratorio of the Bygone Time, which centers around Arius. Hence, since Volume 6 has finally concluded as of last month, I think the 5th anniversary would be the perfect time to return to Volume EX by announcing Chapter 3, which by the way should be the final chapter of this volume, considering that the story hasn't ended, as we still have not seen most of the hype scenes in the 6 PV actually take place in-game. Not to mention the introduction of the new Dekagamaton Total Assault boss, Yesod, back in October 2025, further hints towards the return of Volume EX sooner rather than later, cause this boss literally appears in the 6 PV. You can see Amy and Toki fighting him. So this is why I, and I'm sure many of you other senseis too, feel that this is the perfect opportunity to introduce Himari's and Aris's ults, cause it'll align well with the potential release of Volume EX Chapter 3, seeing as both these students play a pivotal role in this volume. Plus, for my newer / returning senseis, I didn't just pluck these ults from my ass. They actually appeared in the 6 PV, like you can see Aris suiting up and fighting foul move in her mech, and Himari arriving to help Rio on her hoverbike in the end. Not only that, having 2 fest units that are related to the main story is something Nexon has done before. Look no further than the 3.5 anniversary, where Shurugo Terra and Amtoshino, who were important characters in Volume 1 Chapter 3, were announced as the fest students during Part 5's release. Thus, they could repeat this pattern as it has been a while since they've done it. Plus, it can also generate even more hype and excitement for Volume EX, which is admittedly already quite beloved by a lot of senseis. Hence, the potential release of a new chapter for Volume EX during the 5th anniversary is one of and the main reason why I believe Mechsuit Aris and Hoverbike Himari will be the 5th Anniv Fest units, since it would theoretically be the most logical choice. And to be honest, I feel like there aren't many reasons why they wouldn't bring back Volume EX while making both of them the Fest units, other than maybe they need more time to cook cause it's gonna be huge, or it somehow got delayed again cause it got sabotaged internally by some guy who's making another Project KV. But surely that's not the case, right? Aside from that, there's also the fact that BA's Fest units usually consist of Kyubotos' strongest or smartest students, with Aris being part of the former and Himari the latter. Many of us tend to forget that our cute daughter is lore-wise one of Kyubotos' powerhouses. Being extremely powerful and strength-wise, she's arguably one of Millennium's strongest students alongside Neru, who already has a Fest ult. so it might be time for Aris to finally get a new ult this year, especially considering her last ult was a main version almost 3 years ago. Meanwhile, for Himari, many of you already know that she's Millennium's delicate yet beautiful super genius hacker, and she loves to remind us every time. So being one of Kivotos' brightest minds, it'll be no surprise if she gets an anniversary ult. Just like how Swimson Nagisa and Rio are fest units too, both of whom belong to the echelon of the smartest students in Kivotos. Other than that, both Aris and Himari are pretty popular characters, especially the former. One proof of this is Aris having the 6th highest amount of Pixiv artwork as of December 2025, beaten only by Hoshino, Yuka, Sensei, Asuna as well as Hina, Mika and Shiroko, who will join 5th. So as you can tell, despite not being relevant to the story for a few months since Volume EX was shelved for a bit, and her not featuring in her own proper event for quite some time now, Aris has still maintained really high popularity among the fanbase. I mean, what's not to like about her? She's a cute Kani Robo daughter, and I know a ton of Aris bros who absolutely love her, myself included. So it would be a huge fumble on Nexon's part if they didn't make her a fest unit, cause I'm sure a ton of senseis would want to wail for her. Not to mention, if Aris's new ult is actually her mech suit, you can bet a lot of people will be pulling for her, cause A, it looks super freaking cool, and B, you know it will be powerful as hell, especially since fist units are supposed to be some of the most meta students in the game. Plus again, as I reiterate, it's a flying mech suit. It's not like Toki's Abi assured exoskeleton, it's a flying mech suit. Like bro, I'm giga hype if we get this ult as a fest student, cause just imagine, her EX animation could be something like her flying about, shooting down drones or something, while saying something cool like from Armored Core or Titanfall or something. Okay, I know that will never happen cause copyright, plus Aris is too much of a doobie dog to say those things unless it's actually Key taking over, but still, just imagine, it would be so cool, cause it would be like having your own 621 while we are Walter Sensei. Who knows, that might be the first step to the potential BAX Armored Core collab, you know, which is why I feel that Mech Aris being one of the 5th fest units will be such a good choice, cause I believe that making her mech suit playable will sell really well. As for Himari, well, while I don't think she is as popular compared to Rio, I still feel that our crippled genius still has a better chance of being the fest unit, even though it would be cinema placing Rio and Aris together as the fest units considering their history. My reasonings for this is that Himari, despite being in the game for quite a long time now, still hasn't gotten an ult. No, her winter outfit doesn't count, so it might finally be time for her to receive her first ult in the form of a hoverbike rider, which was shown in the 6PV. Not to mention, Rio is still a fairly new student, like she's only been playable for like a year. And before you say it, yes, I know Rio can still get an ult, cause look at Seiya who released at the same time as Rio and still got an ult in the same year she came out. But I feel like that's cause Seiya technically has been in the game as an NPC for longer, plus there was more demand for her. And in my opinion, Himari on a hoverbike would be a slightly more unique design compared to Rio in a jumpsuit, though let's be honest, the latter is a little bit hotter. Let's not get it twisted though, Himari is also still pretty popular. Like I know there are a lot of Himari bros out there, thus she being the 2nd 5th fest unit is a high possibility, and the devs could give her another L2D where she flaunts those smelly, delicious, non-functional feet again to further boost her popularity. But listen, I could be wrong, maybe Rio will be the fest unit with Aris, or they might even give us 3 banners for the first time ever, in which case, we're cooked. All in all though, these are the reasons why I think Mecha Aris and Hoverbike Himari are the front runners to be the 5th fest units over any other student. And to be honest, if it does happen, I myself would be quite excited, cause I love both of them, personally the former a bit more, and I would very much welcome ults with a bit more futuristic designs, cause it'd be a refreshing change from the usual ults that we get. Nothing wrong with them though, mind you. Before I move on to my next student predictions, in terms of Mecha Aris's and Hoverbike Himari's kits, well, for the former, she'd obviously be a striker damage dealer. I also have a gut feeling she's going to be an explosive DPS student, cause it's been a while since we've gotten a proper raid damage dealer. So I think the devs are planning to introduce a new explosive DPS unit that's capable of competing with Dress Hina in the form of Mecha Aris. Fitting since they are friends. However, the upcoming JFD in JP might seem to hint at her being another Mystic student. Like as you can see here, the translation of one of the mechanics of the 4th stage, Mystic effectiveness of AR and RG students is increased, RG being Railgun, and the only student who uses a Railgun is Aris. So this might allude to her being a Mystic DPS just like her other two versions. Don't ask me about her skills, I have absolutely no clue what they'll do with her. I just know that it's gonna be busted and she's gonna have some kind of unique mechanic. Whilst for Himari, I can see her as a striker student even though she can't walk, like her flying around in a hover bike on the battlefield. It would be really cool. Plus, she's definitely going to be a buffer of some kind. No idea what, but maybe she could be an AoE EX skill duplicator, or maybe an AoE cost overload buffer, or hell, she might provide a completely new buff. Who knows? I just know that she'll most likely be a new meta hyper buffer. Alright, with the fast units out of the way, it's time to talk about my predictions on who will be the other anniversary units, i.e. the welfare students and the initial 2 limited 3-star banners. You know, the ones that come with the free 100 pulls. And my prediction is... Jajang! Pandemonium Society ults. More specifically, I personally feel that the free welfare unit will be a Makoto ult, while Iroha and Ibuki's first ever ults will be the limited 3-star units. Again, I'm talking about the 2 banners before Fest with the free 100 pulls. Now, I have a few reasonings for predicting the Pandemonium Society to be part of the 5th anniversary, one of which being the simple fact that they, specifically Iroha and Ibuki so far, are getting featured 3D videos on the official Blue Archive JP YouTube channel. For my newer senseis, yes, I know it sounds crazy, but it is a genuine pattern that we have recently found. For example, the first characters that pop up in the New Year greeting videos will usually get an ult that year. Like in 2025's, the greeting videos featured Noah, Koyuki, Kayako, Haruka, and Mika, but Mika's video was the first uploaded one. And well, guess who got an ult that year? Look at 2024, it was Kazusa, Hoshino, Nonomi, Izuna, and Tsukuyo. Kazus was in the first video, she got her banned version later that year. Okay, Hoshino got an ult too though, so it doesn't just apply to the first student. So following that pattern, and looking at BA's 2026's New Year greetings videos, which Iroha and Ibuki were the first to appear in, well, it's safe to say that they're getting their ults this year. It's just a matter of when. Not only that, as of 5th January, Iroha has also started to appear in their weekly Monday 3D Short Sensei May I Have a Moment of Your Time series, which is an even bigger indication that she'll be getting an ult this year. Cause so far, every character who features in this weekly series has gotten an ult. Like look at the Tea Party Girls and Ninjutsu Club, meaning Iroha herself is 100% getting an ult. And we'll need to wait and see if Ibuki starts appearing in these shorts too. Though the argument to this is that it might be way too soon for Iroha to get an ult when she just started appearing in the 3D videos, cause they probably won't advertise her a bit more and they might be saving her for some time later this year, like during the 5.5 anniversary. Aside from that, my next reasoning is that the Pandemonium Society are pretty important in Kyoto's lore-wise, since they are essentially Gehenna's student council. Not to mention, the Pandemonium girls are fairly popular, mainly Iroha and Ibuki, to an extent Chiaki too. She and Iroha are actually my favorites, so it would make perfect sense for them to be part of an anniversary, especially considering the fact that they don't have their ults yet. Finally, one last important reason why I think that the Pandemonium Society ults could appear during the 5th anniversary is the fact that there hasn't been any Gehenna Fest students for quite some time now. Like the last time Gehenna even appeared in an anniversary event was the 3rd anniversary with Dress Hina, and that was literally almost 2 years ago. Us Gehenna bros have been starving, so I personally think and hope that it's about high time that we get something new that's Gehenna related. Who knows, it could be like they give us Pandemonium Society ults during the 5th anniversary while introducing the long-awaited Gehenna main story that starts after Volume EX. I know I'm coping a lot, but hey, let a man dream, alright? All in all, those are the reasons why I feel that the Pandemonium girls will be part of the 5th anniversary alongside Mecha Aris and Hoverbike Himari. And personally, I don't think we will be getting Aimi, Toki, Yuzu or Gamer Twin ults instead, cause they'll most likely have a completely separate event for the welfare / 100 free pulls 3-star students. And sadly, not all the story characters will be playable. Just like the 3.5 anniversary where it was Swimsuit Aries in the Shisai Outside event with Toshino and Kuroko as the Fest units, both of whom were main story characters. But again, I could be wrong, the devs could literally just throw a curveball and mess up my entire prediction. With all that said, a small part of me does hope that they aren't announced during the 5th anniversary and and that they are being reserved for the 5.5 anniversary instead. Cause for one, I have no clue what ults they could get at this time of the year. Maybe New Year ults? Office ladies? Who knows? I genuinely have no idea. Whereas if it was during the 5.5 anniversary, which usually happens during the summer, it's easy. Swimsuits. And boy would I love to see the Pandemonium girls in swimsuits. Especially after seeing the official fan art of Summer Pandemonium by Akinashi Sensei. Good lord, I would kill for swimsuit Chiaki, Iroha, and Ibuki. And that's all for this video. Apologies if I didn't predict your favorite students like Fox Platoon or Akira or Erika or Swo or whoever else. I would love to talk about each and every student, but obviously I can't cause I yapped a bit too much about Aris and Himari admittedly. Perhaps in the future, next time when I make a video like this again, I will try a different approach and include every student while yapping a bit less. Plus these are just my own personal opinions, so don't take it too seriously if I didn't include your favorite student. I still love them all. Like, to be honest, I could have easily talked about Erika being the first unit cause I really like her, but I've honestly mostly given up on her becoming playable already. Anyways, let me know your predictions on who will be the 5th first units, and I'll see y'all in the next one.